I'm so amazing. I'm so amazing.
I am amazing. Just how I'm blazing.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Cool Convict from Cool Convict Gaming, and I'm on today with my man's Jeanyus over here.
Jeanyus in the building.
Hey man, go on, tell him what you do, dog.
Oh man, my name is Jeanyus, aka Will. That's my real name. But I'm a everyday on the surface gamer. Happy to be here with my friend, the one and only Cool Convict. But we're trying to start this podcast and talk about some different things. Just put our perspective on stuff. So that's me though. I'm Will, and I like doing this. So
that's what's up.
Yeah.
If anybody want to know all my logos and everything that y'all seen me recently update my page on, this the man that did it. This is the man that's behind
the creative genius.
There you go. There you go. So everybody know what I do. I don't need to introduce myself. Y'all haven't seen enough of my videos to know what I do. But today we're gonna try something new. So we're gonna try this podcast name because there's some things that we discuss amongst each other that I feel like need to be discussed. So,
and excuse my background. This is temporary.
It's all right. But so I came across this blog post yesterday, coming from the devs at 343 concerning what we saw at the showcase for for Halo Infinite. And
that Halo 360 footage. Go ahead.
Yeah, we all saw the footage. You know, everybody should have saw the footage right now. If you're a gamer, you saw the footage by now. So yes. We're gonna just kick this thing off because apparently they had some things to say, and now I will give them credit for at least reaching out and trying to, you know, communicate with the community about the frustrations everybody had once they saw that. But I'm on the other side of it because I read through this whole thing. I even watched the guy try to explain it himself, and it's one of them things that nah, bruh, we can't ride with that. So here we go. He said, to answer your questions, shortly after the demo aired, I took to Twitter, scoured Reddit, and checked for our forums for common questions that were popping up around the community. There are a lot of questions, and they'll all get answered in time, but I wanted to start by tackling a few that were frequently asked, one that we should clarify, and some we've already answered, but should resurface. Let's dive in. Now, here's the problem I got. The very first subject they wanted to test and talk about was the questions about the graphics and visuals. That right there is a red flag for me already. That is the first subject you felt like tackling because you know, I mean, everybody knows that this was supposed to be for Xbox Series X. And I understand that they came out and said, you know, they're trying to put it on both platforms, but still, I mean, we've seen games that were, you know, on last gen and transition to the new generation, and there were completely different builds. I mean, look at what GTA 5 did. GTA 5 came out on Xbox 360.
We talked about that game the other day. We done bought that 3 times. Go ahead. Yeah.
So when they moved over to Xbox One, they upgraded the game. So you can't tell me that you can't do 2 separate builds for this game, one for the Series X and one for Xbox One, if you're trying to still keep the people who may not transition over right away in the loop with Halo. But let's dive into this questions about the graphics and visuals. Says, first, we want to acknowledge that yes, we have heard the feedback coming from parts of the community regarding the visuals in the Halo Infinite campaign demo. While we see and hear far more positive than negative, we do want to share a bit more context. From our perspective, there are two key areas being debated around the community. Overall art style and visual fidelity. Based on our learning from Halo 4, Halo 5, and Halo Wars 2. Along with strong community feedback, we decided to shift back towards the legacy aesthetics that defined the original trilogy. With Halo Infinite, we're returning to a more classic art style, which was a key message going back to the very first reveal that gamered enthusiastic and positive responses. Now, I want to stop right there because everybody that played Halo 4, Halo 5, I'm not even going to talk about Halo Wars 2. I don't really do the RTSs, but for the people that play those two, there's always been complaints about the fact that since 343 took this game over after Halo Reach, the game is not even close to the same quality that the original Halo games were. So it's like, bruh, why are we trying to sugarcoat this situation as if people wasn't already frustrated with what 343 has been doing with the Halo franchise? So now it's like, what do we do? Like, what do we do from this point? And if anybody knows the history of 343 as a company, they never developed any games before being given this Halo franchise. They developed DLC for Halo Reach. That's the only attachment they had to Halo in the first place. And if you go and like look at the history of the company, they got nothing else under their belts. Nothing else under their belts besides the DLC for Halo Reach, and then the last 1, 2, 3, now 4 Halo games.
I'm gonna just say this out loud.
Go ahead.
I haven't played Halo in years. And it's because of like the way it looked and all that garbage. But
right,
it was a good game when I played it. But
right.
That was, what was it, Bungie?
Yeah, Bungie had it then.
So
Bungie had it then, and then they moved on to do Destiny.
Again, my surface stuff is, I'll be like,
right.
Like, there's no way when you watch that video that it should still look. To me, it looked like almost like that cartoon, almost like Borderlands.
Okay.
Like when I think of Borderlands, I think of like Xbox 360.
Right.
I think of Xbox 360.
But now you got to remember that Borderlands went with the whole cell shade art style on purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose. Halo, on the other hand, has always tried to push the limit of the graphics. In real. Yeah. And from what I've seen, bruh, you right. I've seen the graphics like take a step back every launch of this game, and the problem I got with it.
Green. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The problem I got with it, bro, is they have yet to actually impress anybody since they took over this thing. And to sit up here and, say that they had an old build, it was an old build that they showed off at the showcase. Bruh, the showcase is for us to get excited about the game that's coming. And not only get excited about the game, but get excited about the new console coming. This is supposed to be the game that pushes consumers like yourself to go, because I play everything, so I'm gonna get everything. I'm not gonna have the issue of if I'm gonna play it or not, because I get everything. But as a person that gets everything, I'm kind of in a different loop than say the normal consumer. The normal consumer is looking at what is being showcased and which system should I buy first. You got PlayStation out here that's battling with you right now. You got Nintendo that's not really battling like in the high powered scene, but they have their collection of things that make people buy their system as well. And Xbox has been hanging since 2018 when they first showed it off. They have been hanging on to Halo being the game that's going to sell the Xbox Series X, and then you give us that footage that we got. Like,
yeah,
you're not impressing me at this point. Like, when I'm looking at that, and I'm like, I can take a pretty, you know, low budget PC, or I can take my 360, or I can take my Xbox One or my PS3 and play this game. Like, there's nothing pushing this game, or there's nothing about this game that's pushing me towards buying an Xbox. And I know you being the Xbox guy, you know, you're the Xbox guy. You want to see Xbox succeed, and they just, man, come on, bro.
As much as I love, and I still want the Xbox first. And I'm gonna sit here and go, I don't know why. And the only reason I say I want the Xbox first, and I can really believe it, is because, you know, my creative stuff. I've already put together skins to put on the side of it. I've already put together designs to put on the side of it. Like, it's to me, it's more stuff like that I want to actually try. Which I've already looked at the PlayStation as well and said I could do the same thing. PlayStation is a little bit bigger, so I can't actually cut something with the Cricut that'll fit it and fit in the. I won't be able to cover the entire side unless it's like 2 pieces. But with that being said,
it can be done.
It can be done. It can most definitely be done. But on the side of the gaming side, because that's strictly just my creative stuff. On the gaming side, like when I think about, and we talked about this, when I think about, I just want Xbox to fight back. And for the company that's producing your big hit maker, the one that's supposed to bring the heat and it's supposed to put the pressure on, like you said, like if you're trying to sway me to buy a system, why would you put your B grade product out? If we looking at this console and going, okay, the next 2 coming are, this one is bigger, better, and powerful than the other one, but we gotta prove it now. We gotta show it now. And when I saw that Halo video, man, I'm going like, is this a 360 or is this on an Xbox One? Like, what is this? Because I didn't see anything in that video that made me go, I gotta have that Xbox.
Right. Well, you know what's crazy is because, you know, the night before the showcase, you know, you had that long talk with my brother about buying the Xbox and why you want to buy the Xbox. And then the next day the showcase come out, and when I seen the text from you and the text from my brother, but hey, have y'all watched their showcase yet? Well, you know, I'm at work, so I couldn't see it yet. But I'm like, when I finally seen it, I was like, bruh, y'all led the showcase with Halo, and that's your console seller, and it looked worse than half of the other games that we don't really know nothing about. It looked worse than those games. Like, a lot of the games they showed off at the showcase, bro, I was looking at, and I was like, man, the graphics on this look pretty dope. I ain't never heard this game before, but it looked dope. But the one game that everybody knows, which is Halo, that's the one you led with, and bruh, it looked the worst. It looked the worst.
I thought about all the stuff I said about buying the Xbox.
Right.
And I'm going like, well, then I just have to buy the PlayStation first. I'm gonna still get the Xbox. I'm gonna buy the PlayStation first.
Well, and it's,
it's not because I don't want it. It's just like, and I know we've talked about this. You know, we talked about it because we were, you know, like I said, we were trying to do the other one. But like when it comes to the games, like what if I got a beastie computer already? Why do I have to? What's the point in buying?
And you know, that's what I kept saying.
Xbox.
That's what I kept saying. That was my argument. Was like, I just
they promote it like that. Like they're promoting it like that.
They did. They promoted it as if, hey, you can get an Xbox if you want one. You don't really need it because everything's gonna be on PC as well. So just get it done. And it's like, okay, why make another one?
If I've spent the money already to keep my games going and great,
right?
Like, what's the point in buying?
Of buying the Xbox, like that's the truth.
I had that Omen, and to me, out of the box, like I don't know the PC specs and stuff like that. I just know it was the latest and greatest. I
Right.
bought it. I spent over $1,000 on that sucker, and it
Right.
played everything I wanted it to play with no issue. But
Right.
in the end, if I'm a Halo player, or if I want a new game, and you're telling me that I don't have to buy your console, I can just play it on the PC, then I don't know
Right.
buy it.
Look, wow.
I can take your controller and hook it up to the PC and be good.
Exactly.
Like,
Hey, that's
and
my Elite controller. My Xbox Elite controller got more play on my PC than it got on the Xbox. So I fully understand, that point. But I want to get to the rest of this, cause bro.
Go ahead.
Okay, so getting back into it, says this translates to a more vibrant palette. Those colors look washed out as hell when we was watching that, but okay. Says cleaner models.
But here's the thing. I thought the colors looked good, but I still felt it didn't. It looked like Halo. To me, it looked like just every. And I guess that's my issue. Like I didn't like Destiny because Destiny to me looked like Halo reskinned.
Okay.
Like that was it. If you put, and somebody's gonna watch this and go, he's crazy. He don't know what he's talking about. He's already said that, and that's cool.
Right.
But when I first saw Destiny, and I was like, all right, this is gonna be cool. It's
Right.
third person, over the shoulder a little bit. You can catch catch different angle. And then I started hearing the aliens, and I was like, this is like Halo. It sounds like Halo.
Right. So I'm gonna send you this pic that I made yesterday, and I'm gonna put it up for the viewers too. I'm gonna put it on there for y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
Check out this picture I made yesterday, just messing around. It's a picture of Halo Combat Evolved. No, it's a picture of Halo 5 and a picture of Halo Infinite. You tell me which one looked better. I'm not gonna tell you which one is which, but you tell me which one is better. When you get that, you let me know. Look at that picture, and I'm gonna tell you which one is which after you look at it, and you tell me which one looks better. You get it?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
The one on the left the one with the red background has more like detail as far as the honeycomb on the actual suit, like the honeycomb design.
Right.
But I would say the one on the left looks better.
Okay, so the one on the left is Halo 5. One on the right is Halo Infinite.
See, it's funny because in my head I was like, I bet that one's the new one.
Yeah.
But it looks
there's
more smooth textures to it.
Yeah, but that was the problem. Like even on the because you can see the visuals that I got on this article, right? Can you see it?
I should have known because I see the grappling hook on his arm.
Yeah. So do you see how washed out that looks? Like there's no detail. That's Halo Infinite. There's no detail in that picture. It's just like what are we doing? What are we doing here? So what was that? Okay, it says cleaner models and objects with less noise, though it doesn't mean less detail. I can't tell because I don't see anything.
I'm gonna have to see something else.
So while we appreciate this may not be everyone's personal preference, we stand by this decision and are happy to see it resonating with so many fans around the world. People are mad. What are you talking about? Says second theme being discussed involves visual fidelity. Negative feedback in this area includes comments around characters and objects appearing flat, simplistic, and plastic-like. Lighting feels dull and flat, and object pop in, which when I first watched the video, I had to rewind it because I was like, did I just see the clouds pop in and the trees pop out? I backed it up, and sure enough, pop-ins. Says, we read your comments, we've seen the homemade examples of retouched content, and yes, we've heard the Digital Foundry assessments. In many ways, we are in agreement here. We do have work to do to address some of these areas and raise the level of fidelity and overall presentation for the final game. The build here we go. This is what me and you were talking about earlier. You ready? The build used to run the campaign demo was work in progress from several weeks ago. Several weeks ago. You announced this game in 2018, and the build you brought to the showcase was a build from several weeks ago. So we're talking about 2020 is when they was building that piece. So for the last 2 years, what have y'all been working on? What have y'all been working on?
How do you put something out that's not your best product for your new console?
Right. Like, work in progress from several weeks ago. And it says with a variety of graphical. Go ahead.
I know we've watched like, I've watched videos where they be like, at the bottom it's blinking actual gameplay or beta testing gameplay or alpha gameplay,
or they'll actually show like early game build. They put that on
work in progress.
Yes. They put it on the video. What none of that on this? None of that on this reveal? I honestly believe that this is the best. This is the best they had. Like, this is what they thought was gonna wow the people when they saw it. This was the best they had. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. You're not gonna convince me otherwise. That was the best they had. That's like, you going out and doing art and you draw what you thought was the best piece of art out there, and you show it to the world, and they like, hey man, this ain't what you think it is. This ain't working. And then you kind of go with, oh, man, this is just a rough draft. I got the real one coming later on.
I can't even.
Why'd you show
that? I can't even do that.
Why would you show it?
And you would think with the way the climate is, and I say the climate, not so much as like anything other than social media. Right. I'm not going to give you the opportunity to roast me.
Right.
I'm not going to give you the opportunity to say something bad about my product.
Unless
I put a disclaimer before.
Right.
If I don't like this, I will text it to you and I will say test. This is a test. I was just trying something.
I agree. And I've seen you
tell
do
me that. Yes, sir.
I've seen you do that. When you post on Instagram and you post your art, you'll let them know, hey man, I was trying something out. What y'all think? Trying something out lets me know he ain't put his all into it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But if you tell me that after, then I claim. If you tell me after the fact, then I claim that I like you said, I'm calling BS.
I'm calling BS. I think that's the best they had. Yeah. It says yes. Okay, so it said, work in progress from several weeks ago with a variety of graphical elements and game systems still being finished and polished. While some of the feedback was expected and speaks to areas already in progress. Let me back that up. While some of the feedback was expected and speaks to areas already in progress, other aspects of the feedback have brought new opportunities and considerations to light that the team is taking very seriously and working to assess. We don't have firm answers or outcomes to share yet, but the team is working as quickly as possible on plans to address some of the feedback around detail, clarity, and overall fidelity. Yeah.
You gotta work quick. You got a couple months. Kick this shit out.
The team is committed and focused on making sure we have a beautiful world for players to explore when we launch. That is 100% BS, dog.
You want to give me something different?
They said work. Hold on. I want to go back to that one more time. While some of the feedback was expected and speaks to areas already in progress.
they was reading it like this. They was like, can we expect that? The fuck?
Bruh.
Trees?
Listen.
He saw the trees not popping in?
Yeah, it was expected the day of when y'all was doing y'all test run. Y'all was doing your test run, you know, before you air it for everybody, and them trees popped out. They like, oh snap, pop ins. Hey man, we already on it. Yeah, they told Microsoft we already on it. We already on it. Already in progress, my ass. They went back that night and started trying to fix stuff. Man, and like, so one of the points that the video I watched, the guy, I won't say any names. I don't like call people out like that when I disagree with them, but he was saying that, you know, given the work situations of 2020, they might be working from home. Yeah, they might be working from home. Okay, I hear you, but we're not talking about, you know, the everyday average Joe who barely scraping by. These men are making millions developing these games. So even if you sitting at home, you got the most high powered system for doing your job at home. And sending work over. I mean, when you got Google Drive, you got Dropbox, you got all these different ways to send the work over to somebody. I mean, I used to do it all the time with music, man. I do music. I'm doing a verse or I do a beat and somebody need it and I can't get it to them. I just get on my email, drop it in the Dropbox or drop it on Google Drive, get it right over to you. So you can go ahead and make the changes that need to be made to it. So you can't tell me that because we're not all in the office together and we're having to work from home and social distance and all that, that we're not able to put it out. Like when he was saying it, I was sitting there like, I could understand that if this was like 2008, 2007, you know, but we're in 2020 where technology is like, man, look, I've seen people do more with less.
I can't go for that. The only reason I say I can't go for that is because as an employee,
yeah,
you may not be responsible for having the equipment at home.
Right.
As your employer,
right,
I make sure that you have the equipment you need to work.
Exactly.
So if you telling me that, well, you know, you're telling me that like COVID has prevented these people from working.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure that there was a clue. In my job, we had a clue that we were going to be almost shut down.
Right. When everything else started shutting down.
Friday and they said close. It was like, okay, we just want you guys to know to be on the lookout in the next day or so. We're probably going to end up closing. Just depends
so they're
on what
preparing you
says.
for it.
But
they're preparing you for it.
Now you're telling me that these people who, not so much as the employees make millions,
right?
But the
employer, they got it. And we're talking. It's Microsoft. It's Microsoft. Like half the stuff that they use is supplied by the company they work for.
But you don't need an Xbox One. You just use your Xbox One X. You just use your PC, bro. Like you can do all of that. A little bit
further, so I'm gonna step over a little bit. I'm gonna go a little bit further because Sony got the same working constraints, and yet their showcase didn't look like some half-ass. And here's the thing. So I watched the Sony presentation. Too, and I was wowed by Miles Morales. I was wowed by Ratchet and Clank because I actually do play Ratchet and Clank, and I was wowed by Horizon. But a lot of the stuff
I don't play Horizon, but that game looked good.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. A lot of the games that Sony was showing off at their showcase, I was like, I don't know what this is. I wouldn't mess with it. Like, there's one that CJ messes with me up because he watched it with me. And CJ was looking at it with me. And there was this one game. It's called Stray. And it was like this freaking cat just walking around the city. And like the people in the city had like TVs for heads. And it was a weird looking ass game. Mm-hmm. But the whole time looking at it, I'm like, what is this? But I never once was like, oh, I got to get that. I got to play that. But there were things at the reveal that made me say, bruh, I'm getting a PS5, because they did their job in convincing me that where we are now and where we're headed with their technology is about to be leaps and bounds better than what we currently are used to. I didn't get that from the Xbox showcase.
But here's the thing, bro. I can't even say that. I played all of 2 days worth of Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
But visually,
yeah,
to me, that game looked better than that Halo spot.
Bruh.
Like, and you're telling me that that's what you tested on your new high-powered, best out there
12 teraflops. 12 teraflops. You know how many teraflops a PlayStation got? 1.82.
All I'm
saying, the PlayStation
is...
4 is 1.82 teraflops. The Xbox Series X is 12 teraflops. And that's what we got.
I just need... how do I get to the point where one day I can ask a question of somebody at one of these higher ups? Like one of these, I'm the CEO of something. I just be like, so like, what was your thought process?
Right.
Because when you come into this room and you're trying to, like you said, like when I saw the Miles Morales stuff on PlayStation, I feel that is a video.
Right.
Not that it's not. I don't know if it's gameplay, but I played Spider-Man.
Right.
And that Miles Morales cut out from the PS5 presentation looks just like Miles Morales
the actual game
from the PS.
Yeah. Well, so there were parts of it. So like when they first showed off like his arm and the electricity is tearing away the suit and everything, I felt like that part right there may have been, kind of in-game engine like to its highest form. But when they actually started showing the gameplay of Miles swinging through the city, well, that looked just like the Spider-Man game we've already played. So I know for sure that was gameplay when we actually watched him swinging through the city. So that's what I'm saying. And even playing that Spider-Man, and don't get me wrong, Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 looked great as well. Even with what they were giving, that game looks good. But the extra detail that went into the buildings and things surrounding Miles as he's swinging through the city was like there was so much more detail even than to what the Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 has been able to offer. So
let's see, what I can appreciate about Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 is like you said, the detail, but never once do I remember that mother father loading in.
No. Once you play, you play. It's not like you swinging and then a building pop in so you can attach to it.
I could go to the top of the highest building and look, and I could see all the buildings.
City.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I, being from New York, I appreciate that. Like I like stuff like that. That's
I know you were telling me how you were swinging around, trying to see places that you
see stuff
recognize.
That I recognize. Yeah. And it may not be scale, it may not be like 1-to-1 or anything like that, but Times Square, Empire State Building, stuff like that. Like you can go. I even appreciated going uptown because I'm from uptown, so you get to on the game. It's the projects. I was like, oh, they're cool, but that's neither here nor there. But that game still had like. It didn't load. It didn't just in the middle of it like freeze and stop, and now I gotta wait for the building to build up. Even though the Xbox Series 1X didn't do that. Right. In the build video, but you're trying to convince me to buy this very new product that you're telling me is the biggest and best that's out. Right. But the video you present me is not
even close, bruh. Not even close.
Why would you do that?
Not even close.
Like, that don't even make sense. Just from a business standpoint, that don't even make sense. Hey, you want to buy this new car? Bro, it's the newest car on the lot, and then you go over there, when you open the door, the motherfucking door falls off. Like,
right.
Wait a minute. Like, it don't work like that. Like, you can't
No,
do that.
yeah,
They
you're right. 100%. 100%, dog. 100%.
Well, the
I
door
don't
won't
get
close.
it.
Then that's when they come back and go, well, I mean, it ain't a new car. Somebody else had it before you, but
Right.
everything else on the car is new except for the driver's side door. And then you
Right.
get in the car and now the cup holder is like gone. And you're like, what?
Right.
Oh, well, we meant to take the cup holder out so that, you know, we expected you to find the cup holder, but we didn't expect the door to fall off.
Yeah.
So now, if you want the car, I mean, but if your car works fine, you don't have to buy this car.
Right.
You can still drive your car.
Right.
You haven't sold me anything that makes me want to buy this new car.
Nope, not at all. All right, so I'm taking the article down because we don't really need it up there no more.
Yeah.
We don't need it up there no more now. But man, come on, man. I don't know what they thinking, man. I don't know what they think with this thing. There is one other thing. There is one other thing I want to touch, and we don't really need to go over the article for this. So they chose to focus on the campaign for Halo in that showcase. They said nothing about multiplayer. And in the little bit that they did mention that I did read about multiplayer is there's rumors going around. I'm not really big on the rumors. I'll wait till I get more source material. But there's rumors going around that they're talking about not dropping a beta for the multiplayer. And if anybody that is a true Halo player, and I know you played Halo too, you don't play them as much as, say, the fanboys do, but you play them. Multiplayer is what carries Halo. It's not the campaign that carries Halo. People brush through the campaign just so they can know where Master Chief is in his adventure, and then the multiplayer is what carries that game. And you're talking about not dropping a beta.
Yeah.
You're talking about not dropping a beta for it.
They better drop something. You better drop something and you better get rid of blue and red teams and allow players to make their own Master Chief, you gotta do something. Because if you just running that same, well, we just trying to keep it on the we just trying to keep it at that, that classic Halo feel. I don't think you're gonna get by with that. I don't think you're gonna get by with that at all.
You're not gonna get by with it, but not only that, I don't think that from what we've seen that you can live off of that campaign without giving people the multiplayer to actually test out mechanics, because that showcase was a failure. I don't give a damn how they try to swing it. It was a failure. So the only thing that can actually save the game and possibly get people to actually think about buying it again is going to be a beta.
You know what'll make me buy Halo?
What's up?
If they built it like No Man's Sky, Elite Dangerous,
right?
Like, I'm tired of them grunts. I'm tired of them. We've been fighting the grunts since I had an Xbox One. I mean, the first Xbox, the big DVD player, the VCR, whatever after the Dreamcast. Like, yeah, we've been fighting the same grunts for that long. They ain't got no bigger. They ain't hit puberty. Like, they ain't did nothing. And that to me is why I be like, I don't need. And I think about the conversation we had the other day when I said I went from Halo to Call of Duty. But my Call of Duty like game playing has been from World War One, World War II,
right,
modern day, modern warfare, futuristic warfare. Right. Back to what is it, the Cold War kind of sort of?
With
Black Ops or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, there's been something different to challenge you every single time. Halo, like, and again, somebody's gonna disagree, but I've been fighting the same grunts for years. And I'm going like, when I got killed by Master Chief, and then the next one, the black guy came back and was hunting me, I'm like, wait a minute, man. I know they shot me down when I was Master Chief at the end of this one, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but I'd rather have a conflict with a different person. Even I think that even like, and I'm not a big Gears of War fan. You probably can tell me more about that one. But like, Gears of War been fighting the same people for years as well. Like,
kinda. So
I'm saying that same, but see that, but you said kinda. You said kinda.
They was fighting the Hive, and then it kind of shifted. So what it was they thought the war was over in Gears of War 3, just to come find out that they were still just scratching the surface. So they ended up encountering some different types of a different type of Hive that was basically kind of chilling back, letting the other ones
waiting on the opportunity.
Yeah, they were chilling back, waiting. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't there the end of one Halo where I take a big bomb that looked like with spikes and stuff on it, and I jump out the back of a spaceship?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that was Halo
what
3.
happened?
That was Halo 3.
And then I played 4 against the same people. I played 5 because at 5 is 5 the one where you die in the sand at the end? Or is that Reach?
That's Reach. So Reach was a prequel. So Reach actually was supposed to be the story before Master Chief. That's what that story is. So it basically took you back before the very first Halo game that came out on Xbox is what Reach did. But even then, it's like to your
Reach.
It's the same. It's the like I said, even that one though, in production wise, compared to what we've got since Reach, that was better. Like Reach, even with it being a prequel story, the thing that always got me was like, okay, this is supposed to be the guys that came before Master Chief, but these guys look better than Master Chief. They
like, but what happened after? If that's the prequel,
if
that's the prequel, and I had a big heavy, I had the girl, right? Like, what happened to them after that? Like, what happened to the people?
So they all died pretty much.
Four people.
They all died.
But after that, nobody wanted to carry that on. But nobody wanted to do that after that. Like, we ain't got nobody else at the back that's like, yo, like, I'm about to keep this going.
That's the reason why Master Chief came in. But even then, like I said, it's like he the only one left. He it, bruh. Ain't no more Spartans. Just him.
I'm exhausted. I'm gonna just go back to Call of Duty next year.
Listen, they messed up the day that they took his mask off. They messed up the day they took his mask off. When they took his mask off, when they let him take his helmet off and they actually showed his face, it was like, yeah, y'all ruined Master Chief, bruh. He ain't that super god that we all dreamed of him being. This one, like, when you know, you even had the speculation people thought he was a robot. So it's like you took the helmet off, showed that he was actually human, and then the games just digressed after that. Like, there's been no progress in Halo since Reach, and Reach was a prequel. But we gon' table the Halo discussion for another time. Want to wait for some more news, because there is one other subject we wanted to talk about, and that subject, dog, I feel like this is more your point because this is right up your alley. But we want to talk about this Madden. Because Madden showed off they stuff too. And
you said call him BS. You said call him BS. I'm a hold on. Let me sit up.
I am so amazing. Look how I'm blazing. These niggas talk shit, don't let it faze me. Just keep making the hits and let the game speak. Cause you niggas trying to catch you to my style in the same speed. But I'm too far to reach, so I dangle lifelines that one you can keep. Cause this nigga gon' shine just for you to see. Better take the time now to shake hands with me. but they really won't. Just wishing I go away is what they really want. Cause I've been taking over stages since they put me on. Niggas smile hard in my face but hate me when I'm gone. But I'm okay with that, cause as long as I'm breathing, Lord got my back. So I just keep dishing the meals and keeping all the scraps, cause I'll be ready for the marathon while you getting fat.